trading history. They want to see that you're not a pawn.
Republicans, it's Donald Trump versus Mike Pence. The former vice president is now endorsing Karen Taylor Robson in the governor's race, but his old boss, former President Trump, is backing Kari Lake in the same race. New details on the upcoming general election. GE Aerospace, GE Healthcare, and GE Vernova, which will cover financial services and energy. Rena Roy, ABC News.
You know when you see a great deal on the phone and then you find out it's not for you? Not at Verizon.
They just gave us all a new iPhone 13.
So we both got the same great deal.
Yep.
Get iPhone 13 on us with select trade-in and 5G unlimited plans for every customer, current, new, everyone, to show the love. Only from Verizon. $799.99, 128 gigabytes only, device payment purchase with new or upgrade smartphone line required. Less up to $800 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Trade-in conditions apply.
Technology lets autonomous vacuums work around the house. Ow, that's my toe. But when your team has to work seamlessly around the world, you need more than technology. You need CDW, who can help transform your organization with Lenovo ThinkPads, pre-configured for management flexibility with the Intel Evo platform. Responsive collaboration tools give your team effortless connectivity to stay focused wherever they work. That's it. Go to your charging station. Lenovo makes seamless productivity possible. CDW makes it powerful. Learn more at cdw.com/Lenovo Client.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
Denver Mayor Michael Hancock delivers his last State of the City address later today. The mayor says under his guidance, the city has seen
increased foreign direct investment. We're seeing an increase in international travel into Denver, 88% increase. We're also seeing, of course, the explosion of housing and housing prices.
With increased housing costs, he would like Denver to become more affordable. He says inflation is top of mind for him and his staff.
Reporter Susan Whitkin, the mayor, delivers his State of the City address later this morning at 11 a.m. On Saturday, a 16-year-old mountain biker crashed his bicycle in lower left-hand canyon in Boulder County. He was found unconscious on a Forest Service trail and flown to a Denver hospital. First responders say the teen had life-threatening injuries. Sports, the Rockies had a 5-game winning streak going into yesterday's game with the Pirates. They couldn't make it 6. Rockies lost to the Pirates 8-3 at Coors Field, snapping that 5-game winning streak. That's the latest. I'm Pat Woodard.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance, where you only pay for what you need.
Slow traffic left over from an earlier accident. Watch for some sluggish speeds westbound I-70 anywhere between Wadsworth to just past Kipling. I-25 traffic looking really good right now. No delay between I-70 and C-470. 225, a little heavy still southbound, working your way past the Cherry Creek Reservoir on down towards DTC Boulevard. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, expecting a record-breaking high of 100 today, the record 99 set in 2020. Tonight's low 68 and then hot for the rest of the week with highs in the mid to upper 90s. Currently it's 80. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 KHOW.
Liberty. Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
A vast array of flooring, carpet, LVT, hardwood, tile. SimplyFloorsInc.com has it all, and all the major brands. And the kicker? They can save you up to 40% from the big box stores. I'm consumer advocate Mark Major. What I love is how they bring the showroom to you. You get to see all the different kinds of flooring right next to your furniture, your walls, your paint. They also have free design services. Set up your in-home appointment at SimplyFloorsInc.com. That's SimplyFloorsInc.com.
Frequently, after a person has surgery, they find themselves with a hoarse voice. This is typically due to after effects of the breathing tube that was inserted for the procedure, and which can cause scarring or nerve issues or other problems. There are also some types of surgery that pose particular risk to your vocal cords. If you or someone you care about is having this problem, please get in touch with Dr. David Opperman of the Colorado Voice Clinic. Dr. Opperman is expert in diagnosing and treating post-surgical hoarseness, but it's important that you don't delay. Get started today at coloradovoiceclinic.com.
Need some gas money? Listen every hour from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays for your chance to win $1,000 to fill your tank. It's Gas Money on 630 KHOW, sponsored by Guy Rees.
Brighten your home and save 10% on Benjamin Moore Paint by joining the Guy Rees Loyalty Program. Stop by a store or go to GUIRYS.com to sign up today. Guy Rees, your neighborhood paint store since 1899.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Gas Money. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bonus. That's bonus. Enter it now at khow.com.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino on 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, and make your life just a little easier. I say that because I truly mean it. We are trying to help you, and that's what we do here, okay? We don't preach to you on what you should believe, how you should believe, what you should do. Although, you know, we have our finger on the pulse of the economy and things like that. We try not to get overly political about it. We just talk about our personal finances more than anything and the economy as it relates to our pocketbooks. So if you have any problems, questions, or complaints, give us a call, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. And we also have 303-MARTINO. You can call 24/7, 303-627-8466. Put your name down, and we will, in fact, help you. If you put your name down, we'll call you back and get you on the air. Now, this hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. I'm not, God, I don't know, do I get in trouble by saying this? I gave my wife some anti-inflammatory face cream. Now, I shouldn't even say that because it sounds like, oh, honey, take this. No, that's not it. But every person in the world could use it. It is an amazing product. We were comparing online stuff for hundreds of dollars compared to this $60-something stuff at RealCBDThatWorks.com, and now you get 40% off until the 20th at midnight. If you use this code, SUMMER22, that's all caps, SUMMER22. It's Panacea Life. Here's where you go. Here's the website, RealCBDThatWorks.com. And then put SUMMER22 in the promo code for 40% off that. So you can get cosmetics or CBD of all kinds for pain, inflammation, anxiety. Welcome, Bob. Bob is with Plumline Services. Bob, real quick. We talked about the heat, the excruciating heat. You are slammed. You are slammed.
Yes.
Bob, I need to know this. Do people just put it off, or is it the heat that brings out problems that maybe were not there?
Well, it's a little bit of both. I mean, when it gets as hot as it has lately, and it will this week, your system's working longer, it's working harder, and that's what causes it to break down, just like if you were on a road trip with your car. But again, people tend to wait until things break.
And I have done some research on keeping your house cool, and I really do want to talk about it coming up, some recommendations. Now, on coolness, Tom, what's going on with you, Tom? I'm Tom Martino. What's going on? Hello, Tom.
Yep. Hi. How you doing?
Good, man. What's going on with you today?
My son got himself in a pickle. Really ticked off, but he owes. He had a DOI, got behind payments. He owes an HOA about $11,000. He owes Capital One about $3,000.
Now, hold on. Wait. You said HOA and then you said Capital One?
Two separate.
Okay. Now, how did he get in trouble?
He had a DUI, going through all the courts. He lost work, etc. He got way behind on things.
Okay. And now is he doing okay?
Yes. No, he's back on track. But again, the HOA is the ugly one.
Well, yeah, they'll foreclose on his house.
Exactly, and that's where our dilemma is. Now, it's already gone through the courts. And,
wait, hold on. What do you mean it already went through the courts? They took him to court and got. They can put a lien on his house without going to court. The only reason they would go to court is to perfect that lien. I hope they didn't do that.
I'm not exactly sure on that.
Well, when you said court, what would tell me? Is it a foreclosure court?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, he's way past paying that back. I mean, unless he pays all the attorney's fees, he's going to owe way more than $11,000.
No, that was the email that I saw. It was roughly a little over $11,000.
Was it a 120 hearing, or what did he go to?
Okay. See, nowadays, they're all, I believe, Mark, judicial foreclosures, right? Didn't it change somewhat? Anyway, in other words, Tom, we need to know, is your son's house foreclosed on or not? Because there's no redemption period with the new foreclosure, as I understand. In fact, I want to get Brad O'Brien on to talk about the stages of the new foreclosures. It used to be they'd foreclose, you get a Rule 120, then you get redemption period, all that stuff. But Tom, what are you calling about today? Let's just take it that way. What are you calling about?
Again, my wife and I, we'll take out a loan that he will repay, and that we will pay all this stuff off.
Okay.
He got a letter from the attorneys representing the HOA. They said something in effect that he owed. It's a little over $11,000. He offered him $10,000. He filed that in court. We have not heard back from the HOA.
They're not going to. There's no reason for them to take it. They're going to sell his house. I mean,
that's my fear. These
attorneys don't care. These attorneys aren't going to take less because they get paid even after they file. You know, they keep getting paid. And if does he have equity in this house?
Yes.
How much equity?
I'm guessing maybe $200,000.
You know, why did this? Okay, here's the bottom line: get it paid as soon as possible. If in fact it has, I mean, it's not too late. I mean, get it paid. You got to pay an HOA lien. They're a superior lien too, a super lien. It'll go ahead of the mortgage company. Now, who's the mortgage company?
I'm not sure. They had sold the mortgage. They had sold the mortgage a couple of years ago.
Okay, you need to do this post haste. You need to get this paid off as soon as possible. And then worry about, you're not going to get a reduction. You're not going to get anything. He's going to have to pay it with attorney's fees. And I don't even know what stage of a foreclosure it's in. But I'd love to get Brad O'Brien. Because I brought it up and people are listening, I think we should clarify the steps of the most recent foreclosure laws. Because as I remember, or I might be wrong, there's no more redemption period. But in any case, Tom, you're moving at the right track. Now, if you're going to go get a loan, how much equity do you have on that house of yours?
Our house is paid for. We have a HELOC line of credit. I mean, there's no issue us getting the money.
Get it immediately. What were you calling about then? I should shut up. Ask your questions.
Well, this is all new to me. My wife and I are retired. The house is paid off. We can get the money for my son. Angry at him that he let it go this far. He received a letter that they filed with the court on Friday. Said, and again, I apologize. Order for clerk's entry of default pursuant to CRCP 55A with respect to defendant's there's a gotcha for them. They can't quit because Capital One also has a lien on it. I just want to get the money, pay it all off. I just want to be sure that we don't pay it off.
How did Capital One get a lien on his house?
For
money.
He got a judgment. He never paid attention.
He just never showed up.
Right. They got a default judgment. Listen, man.
You should do a second on him. You should literally protect your own money, man.
Yeah. You need to put a second deed of trust on that house so that guy can never screw around like this, and you're protected. You're protected. So you do what I would do is I would go to either Brad O'Brien, a real estate attorney, or a title company and do a second on your house. Do whatever you need on your house. When you loan it to him, do a second on his house and get a deed of trust.
Yes.
Don't mess around. And I'm going to have Brad O'Brien on to address foreclosures and what to do. Are you positive they're willing to walk away from this? Are you positive?
I have an email. Bear with me a second. I'll bring it up. No, I got the one. He forwarded me the email from Capital One. They said they would. We are authorized to accept the sum of $3,000.
Okay. Now, but what about the other one, which is more important, the HOA one? That's the super lien.
And that one. Let me go to that one. Bear with me a second.
Can I want to throw something.
Hold on, but let him read that if he has it. Do you have that one yet?
I'm finding the email.
What were you going to say, Mark?
Well, how much does he have a job now? Does he have any assets, or does he just have the debt with the exception of the $200,000 in the house, the equity?
He has his own company. He's in a good spot right now.
Okay.
He's making decent money.
All right, good. Listen, Tom, here's what I'm concerned about. That the payoff is really the payoff, and sometimes they trick you into paying and they still foreclose, and there are tricks they can do. I just want to make sure that when you pay it, it's a settlement. And I really truly would use Brad O'Brien to review documents. I really and truly would do that. Now, I have to take a break. Josephine, with your revenue department you owe, and then Sam, a possible mortgage payoff scam, all of this. Hang on. And then, Tom, we'll try to get Brad O'Brien from O'Brien Legal Services coming up.
I'm not exactly an expert on vehicles.
Oh, hit the one that says PGM.
Yeah, are you on PGM?
There you go.
Now I am.
So listen to this, Mark.
Were they saying bad things about you?
A cardiologist found out 2 weeks ago he has 3 half-black grandchildren. He was a sperm donor back in the day. His son went on 23andMe a while ago. Somebody looked it up, found out that his dad, my buddy, his son, or the guy who got his DNA, married a young black woman, and now he has 3 half-black grandchildren.
And he had no idea he had kids?
No idea.
And
all of a sudden,
that's
he's got
cool.
3 grandchildren, and he's 75 years old.
Is he going to go meet them?
Yeah, he wants to go meet them.
That's so cool.
Now let the Elway dealers explain more and get you into a new vehicle in a great new lease. Learn more at elwaydealers.com. That's elwaydealers.com.
Empower Reverse Mortgage is a reverse mortgage company that I can highly endorse because Mark Massey and his team have a heart for seniors, and they have a special helpline for you to ask questions. Reverse loans are not normal loans. They're reverse loans. That means they accrue against your house. You use your equity for yourself without paying tax on that equity, no matter how much it is. So here's what you do. you see Empower Reverse Mortgage and get the rundown. If you want to stay in your house for assisted living, maybe save it from foreclosure or HOA liens, whatever it is, hey, you need to talk to Empower Reverse if you need to tap that equity. Here's the helpline, 720-500-7719, 720-500-7719.
Why would you not want to go meet your grandkids?
Because if you've grown up in a world...
Because they want stuff.
No, without knowing them, and they're 20 years old.
When you say it was a sperm donor, are you talking about at a bank, or was he directly...
No. What we used to do as residents, we would be sperm donors to sperm banks. They would literally call us on rounds, and they'd say, okay, Ken, we need a donation. And they give you $100.
And Ken says, oh, shit, I just did it. I didn't realize you wanted me to save it.
For $100 in the 70s, that was a,
Mark, the link, oh, there we go.
It was a great way to make some extra money. No, I would want nothing. I would, if I was 75 and had grown up not knowing they existed, I think
the older I am, the more interest I have into meeting them.
Yeah.
It was kind of half and half.
They want to meet him?
Yeah.
Is that the deal? Oh, I mean, I don't know. Even as a kid,
isn't that the cool?
If it was like, oh, my grandfather had a relationship with this person, that'd be a little bit different. But
a sperm donor, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, it's not.
When you become a sperm donor, you don't really care.
Right.
That's the whole reason.
Yeah, but then when you find out you have these grandkids, you would have no interest, huh?
I would.
You would. I mean, wouldn't you know that? I mean, you assume if you're donating that somebody's going to get pregnant, they're going to have kids, and then they're going to have kids.
So,
I don't know. I'd be very curious to follow the lineage.
I would. I mean, I'd probably have kids running.
Bonnie wanted to go out. Bonnie and Dolce wanted to go out to eat last night when they left me, because I didn't feel like going. I wanted to get home, and they were meeting friends, and they said, "Could we have a credit card just for me and Dolce?" And I said, "Sure." And
so they bought for everybody.
No, but the bill was like $300. And I said, "Now, how do you kids on a $50 all-you-can-eat thing at Fogo de Chao? How has that become $300?" And Bonnie said, Dolce said, "Well, Bonnie bought Wagyu 24 ounces for the table."
Wow. You know what? That must have been over $100 for 24 hours.
So hold on. So it was an unusual charge at an unusual time. And the only reason I find out, he calls me and says, "Dad, the credit card was rejected." And I said, "Well, it should be." And I said, "How much was it for?" And he told me, and I said, "What the?" And I said, I should have just hung up and said, "Work it out." But
you should have, actually.
Oh,
I might have.
I said, "What are you trying to be a big shot? What are you doing buying Wagyu for the table? 24 ounces of Wagyu, do you know what? That alone was near $200.
Oh, yeah.
I probably would have.
I was so pissed.
I probably would have said, "Work it out," and hung up on him. Then I probably would have called the restaurant and figured it out on the back end and had the fucking manager scare the shit out of him.
Oh, that would have been a...
That's probably exactly how I would have handled it.
God, I was so upset.
I remember carrying Addie back in from Dave and Buster's. She didn't have enough tickets for something. We get outside, and she's got it. She's like 5 years old. She fucking snagged it. And I scared the shit. I brought her back in over my shoulder. Oh, my, yeah, she took it, put it in her pocket. She was 5 or 6. She knew better. I mean, she wasn't like 2. And she was absolutely terrified. But what sucked is I get back in there. The employees acted like, "Oh, it's no big deal. She can keep it."
Yeah, you shouldn't do it.
I'm like, keep it.
How much was it?
It was like...
You should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Frank! I'm sorry, what am I doing? I'm sorry. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. That's next time, right? Okay. Sorry. Okay, we are on the air, Deputy Doc. If you don't mind interrupting your conversation there, that would be good. Recommendations on keeping a house cool. Number one, the number one thing. If the attic is overheated, your house will never cool down. Bob, have you found that?
That's correct. A lot of people, that's one thing that people don't pay attention to is the insulation in their house.
Yeah, and so the insulation in the attic plus ventilation in the attic. Some people, one time years ago, my house would not cool down, and this is many years ago, found out I did have insulation, but I also didn't have much circulation. There were not enough soffit vents and not enough roof vents. And so the guy punched vents into that roof and did, I swear, I think it was Jay. Anyway, by the time we got done doing all of Excel Roof, I'm talking about doing all of the attic ventilation, the house cooled like nothing. It was wonderful. But that's number. I'm just saying. I'm not saying. Of course, that's just one of the recommendations. Check attic ventilation and insulation. That's number one. We'll go over some others as well. Now, so Tom, bottom line, I'm going to take other calls, but when we get Brad O'Brien on, we'll talk to him about your problem. Okay. Now, Josephine, what's going on with you? 303-713-TALK is our number. Josephine, what's happening?
Yes, last week I received a letter from the Colorado Department of Revenue, stating that they had not evaluated my filing history and believed that I am missing out on the routine tax rebate credit. Now I have filed every year, my state and federal, ever since I've been working, and that's many years. So I'm not sure.
Are you sure this is from? Wait, are you sure this is from the Colorado Department of Revenue?
Well, I don't know. It has the letterhead. I'm just not sure. And they want us, to.
What do they want you to do? That's what I want to know. What's the call to action?
Is to find out. They're saying I can go to www.getaheadcolorado.org for free help to filing my taxes. Well, I've already done that. I've already got my my refund. Everything was
okay. What do they say you're missing out on?
My filing taxes for 2021 and previous years. And
so they're saying you have refunds coming, because when I go to this site, what it says is there's still time to file your taxes to get cash back. That's what this says. And I don't know if it's a legit site or not. It's getaheadcolorado.org. And it says if you missed tax day deadline or got an extension, you can still file your taxes to get thousands back. Colorado families get up to $3,600 per child in tax credits. And so they're saying, but it's just weird that the Colorado Department of Revenue would write to you to let you know that you need to do this, but you say you've never not filed and you've never gotten a notice that you haven't filed, right?
Correct, because everything has come through. My refunds have come through.
I don't know why you're getting that. I don't know why you're getting that.
I don't either.
To me, we should ask Larson Tax Relief. We should get a question into them. Hold on, all right? I want to ask them why you would get that notice from the Department of Revenue. Could you take a picture of is there a way you can take a pic of the letterhead and send it to Sue's? And so waiting for Brad O'Brien on one and then Larson Tax Relief on the other. Let's just see if we can find out. Sam.
Is there a phone number on that letterhead?
Well, we'll find out if there's a phone number when she gets that picture. Sam, what's going on with you, Sam?
Hey, good morning, Tom. How
Hey,
you
man.
doing?
What's happening?
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I recently paid off the mortgage on my house.
Yes.
Was talking with my daughter yesterday, and she was telling me that there is a new scam that's out where someone can take my information, take it to court, and then they could sell the house without me knowing.
Yeah, she's talking about these commercials you hear about title theft. Let me just tell you something. Of all the crimes in the universe, title theft is at the bottom, meaning it hardly ever happens. But can it happen? Yes, but even if it does happen, let me explain this. Here's what your daughter's talking about. If you have a house, doesn't even have to be paid off. But if you have a house that is paid off or a house, somebody can file what's called a quitclaim deed, claiming that you now they would have to get a notary or other people, and they'd have to forge and they'd have to commit a crime, okay? And then they file a quitclaim deed claiming that you, Sam, let's say, deeded your house to Mark. So let's say Mark is a scammer who files this quitclaim deed. Now, technically, on paper, Mark owns that house. It's subject to any liens or loans, but let's say it's paid off. Technically, Mark owns that house free and clear. Now, he tries to go out and get a loan on it. The chances of him getting a loan are almost nothing, because before somebody gives you a loan, do you realize what's involved in getting a loan? Just because there's a quit claim deed, when they do a title search, they're going to find all kinds of stuff. But it doesn't matter. Let's just say people are totally stupid and blind to all of these facts, and they get Mark a loan on a fraudulent deed of trust. I mean, excuse me, a fraudulent quit claim. Now, he has a loan, and you find out about it. You dispute it and win. Is it a hassle? Sure it is. Can it happen? Sure it can. It hardly ever happens. But yeah, something like that could happen. You dispute it because no one's going to be able to say you signed it. No one. It's your house. Now, Title Lock will have you think it's happening every day, and you need to get their services. And what Title Lock does, or other such services, is they will notify you when anyone tries to file anything on your house, anything. Now, you still have a fight. They don't stop it. They just notify you. Okay? So you're paying them every month, and then they watch your title, and they notify you. You still have to fight it. You still have to claim it's a fraud. You still have to stop it. You have to go through the same exact actions. You just catch it sooner. Now, I understand also there are counties that are offering this service, or clerks, free of charge. You have to sign up for it. But, Sam, you're worrying way too much.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Well, you've helped me in the past tremendously.
Yes.
This is why I'm calling you.
Okay. I'm not saying it can never, ever, ever, ever happen. But you'll almost never lose your house because, you do have to fight it. But even with a Title Lock service, you still have to fight it. They just let you know it's there. Just like a credit thing. Credit's different. A credit freeze is different. What a credit freeze does is at least a credit freeze doesn't allow people to get a credit report on you. I think Title Lock, they can still file against your house. They just notify you. Now, I might want to verify that if anybody's ever used it, but the bottom line is this. It doesn't happen, hardly ever. In fact, in all of my years, it happened once, and that was a pastor who took somebody's house and claimed they loaned the person money. And then the other one was a stolen house where a sister took the house. Wait, a niece took a house, right, Mark? The stolen house? But that was
not technically. She signed it over to her.
Oh, okay. She tricked her. That's right. She tricked her. Anyway, Sam, I might ask O'Brien about that too when we get him on. Okay. So when I get OLS Law on, I'm going to ask about title locks and also the other thing we were talking about, which is a lien from. Go ahead, Suze. What?
Liens on a home, Tom.
Yeah. Okay, so hold on, and we'll do more right after this. Now, I'll get to all of your calls. Please hang on. Plus, we have Plumline Services with us and some questions about keeping houses cool. 303-713-TALK. There's also a debate as to whether or not you should leave the air on a bit or just turn it on when you get home. All of that coming up.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon.
This report is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance, where you only pay for what you need.
Troubleshooter show, please hold a minute.
Aren't you really hot when you go outside with that jacket and tie on in 100-degree weather?
You're on that side. It's all
No?
insurance coverage.
Yeah, I am.
home insurance.
I'm always...
Okay.
I mean, you always dress great.
Liberty, liberty.
Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. That is a place that I highly recommend. I am using them to analyze my retirement to see when I should take income, how I should take income, if I should take income yet. What should I do when minimum distributions come forward? What if you're in your 40s and you want to learn more, or in your 30s? They teach you how not to have redundancy, how to have efficiency, how to save money in a retirement plan. Everything retirement. You know, all of us, or many of us have, of course, a 401k maybe, or a SEP, or an IRA, or whatever. But how do you coordinate all that? Do you just draw it down, or do you convert it to an annuity possibly? Whatever you need to know about retirement, they can help you with. And I mean all of the pillars of retirement, including income and taxes. That's important, plus investments and health care and legacy. All of that can be handled, and they'll meet with you as many times as it takes to get comfortable. They'll tell you how they make money and how it saves you money. rpcenter.com, rpcenter.com, 970-663-3211, 970-663-3211. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. I don't even know what to say. There's so many great things to say about Frank. First, you'll think you're his only customer. He has a buying team and a selling team. Or he'll do a free analysis of your absolute home and what it will sell for based on his 27 years of experience. And he sells quicker and for more money, and he has stats to prove it. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
Michael Brown here from my partners at the Colorado Business.
Yeah, she just thought it was odd. Let me get that. Let me see. Because she files every year, she said. She already got her refund. Okay, there you are. Hey, and are you the...
New foreclosure laws, that's what it was.
Some Texas and in studio dates. You're in town, right? It's Michael that's out of town, correct?
And also for new foreclosure
Is there any day of the week that works better than others? Are you pretty slammed coming up, or what? I've got some weeks available, or days available. Thursday's no good, but other days are good. Any chance you can do next? Okay. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to interrupt you. Any chance you can do next Monday or Wednesday, the 25th or 27th? Is that too soon?
And then I wanted Larson for... Larson for okay. Larson is for
I'll send you
the notice from the state.
The 25th. All right. Hang tight. Yeah, and I tell Tom your time is limited. Thanks for your time.
You guys put in Whole House fans, right?
They sound quite cool.
Quite cool, yeah.
Do you have people wanting them?
We don't get a lot of calls for them.
They're good.
Mark and I were talking about that not too long ago.
It's a great product.
It is a great product.
And
especially if you don't have the ventilation in your bag like you're talking about.
yeah, you still need the venting. It'll push it out, though. It will. It'll aid on that for sure.
Yeah, when you were talking about
844 Larson Taft.
Okay. I mean, our suggestion is always open up all the vents, open up all the doors.
Oh yeah, don't choke it. That's
and then keep it running all day long, because that's when you overwork your system when you get home at night and you turn it on. You try to get it to cool down. So we keep it running all the time, and also recommend keeping the fan on all the time to circulate and filter the air.
okay. I'm not going to go against your recommendations. I just have, it's like so many people have so many different. Did you hear this? This is...
With a tip. It's a win-win. Plus, you control which loans you fund and when
You fund loans?
so you can make a difference and a return. Join us. Download the Solo Fund app on the App
Solo Fund.
Play Store.
Stay cool, no AC, QCColorado.com. Whole house fans, QCColorado.com.
630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi. Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I want to, we have Steve Sizik from Larson Tax Relief. And Steve, I want to ask a question that I don't know the answer to, but Josephine got a letter from Colorado Department of Revenue. And Josephine, basically the letter says what? If you need help filing your taxes, go to this website because you're missing out on refunds and credits, right?
Yes.
And they gave you a website that is getaheadcolorado.org. And when I went there, I don't know who owns it or anything about it, but it says there's still time to file your taxes and get cash back. And then they have a form for you to fill out. Now, we have two questions, Steve. Have you heard of this organization that helps Colorado residents file their back taxes?
I haven't. I mean, I got an image of the letter and I read it, and it looks legitimate as far as the letterhead and the language and the rest. But I've not heard of Get Ahead. And if she's already filed her returns,
yeah, that was the second
no
question. That was the second question. Why would she be gaining notices if she's never missed a year filing?
Right. I mean, this is the type of thing, at least the language, like I said, looks legitimate. It looks like the state would send this to people to try to get them to file their returns because they want to see, obviously, what people are making as far as income and the rest.
Right.
But I've never seen this sent to someone who's already got a refund. It seems to me like one of two things. Either they, it's a bureaucratic mistake and they send it to the wrong person, or, it's some sort of scam notice, but it doesn't look like a scam notice to me. It actually looks fairly legitimate.
Would you not worry about it, the fact that she's already filed?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
And the only other thing I noticed on this is I get notices from Colorado all the time, and they're not in color like that. They don't spend the money on the good.
Do they have a phone number on there, Josephine? Do they have a phone number?
No. And I was going through some other letterheads that I've gotten from the Department of Treasury, and it's all in black. This is in color.
Right, which that was the one flag that, I mean, if this may be a very sophisticated marketing technique, right, or a /scam notice, and so I'd be a little bit dubious. The fact that you've already gotten your refund, the state has already processed your return. That's confirmation that you're on track. Getting money back.
That's what I thought.
Is
okay,
positive,
there
right?
is.
That's why I wanted to call because if anybody.
Let me tell you what I found. I found a news release from the government. It is actually the government website, Colorado Department of Health and Environment, new awareness campaign. Website helps Colorado families save money and get cash back by filing their taxes. So it looks legit. It is a legit program, Mark.
Definitely legit. In fact, at colorado.gov, there's a link going right to that site.
Right. So I would say, but the fact that you've already filed.
Yeah, but maybe she missed the money. I mean, how did you file? Did you file
on your own?
Yeah.
No, I filed through my tax service.
You might want to check. You might want to double check to see if you've gotten all the credits coming to you. Now, Steve, I appreciate the information. I want to ask a quick question. Is the IRS out in full force for collections now? Are they still slow? What's going on?
So the processing of returns is extremely slow. But the problem with that is that they actually pulled a bunch of people off the phones at the collections division. So if you do get a collections notice, good luck getting a hold of anybody right now. 4-hour hold time, things like that.
What do you guys do about that when you take on a case? Do you have to wait that long?
No, we have a back door as a practitioner.
Good.
We can get through, and we can actually file certain forms and things and use the code to your advantage. So,
all right.
If you're represented, you're probably going to be all right. If you're not, get yourself a cup of coffee and put in Game of Thrones or something, because you're not going to get a hold of somebody for quite some time.
Steve Sizik, that's LarsonTaxRelief.com, 844-LARSON-TAX. Josephine, I think that answered your question. And now let's go to, and Tom, we're getting Brad O'Brien on soon, so hang on. And let's.
He's on, Tom.
What's that?
Brad's on 7.
Oh, Brad O'Brien. Brad is here. Let me go to Brad. Brad O'Brien, thank you for being here. Brad, I wanted to ask you a quick question here on when it comes to new foreclosures. I say new because as I understood it before, you could do a foreclosure, you had a Rule 120 hearing to see if it's legit, and then they ordered a foreclosure, and then you have a redemption period. But things have changed with foreclosures, right?
Well, Colorado does not have a post-foreclosure redemption period. That was done away with a couple of decades ago. Well, in Colorado, the borrower has to cure before the foreclosure sale.
Is it a judicial foreclosure? Does it take a long time?
Well, in Colorado, you can foreclose 2 different ways: judicial through the court, or administratively through the public trustee's office if it's a deed of trust mortgage.
Okay.
Deed of trust lien, excuse me.
The reason we ask is because Tom, his son, had some HOA liens and another lien, and he wants to pay them off. And I was just wondering, if something's in foreclosure, is it ever too late to get your house back? At what point is it too late to get your house back?
Well, an HOA foreclosure is judicial. It's through the court, and the court process is several months long. And there would be an opportunity up until, even if you lose a trial and the judgment is entered against you, you still have up until 15 days before the actual sheriff's sale to submit your notice of intent to cure, and that triggers the claimant to give you the exact dollar amount for the payoff. And then you have until noon on the day before the sheriff's sale to make that actual payment.
Okay, so they would have plenty of notice before that house is sold then.
Sure.
Okay. Now, next question. We've heard of title locks, and people are afraid if they pay off their house or they have equity, somebody can simply file a quick claim deed and own their house fraudulently and then get a loan or sell it out from under them. And I told them that that's a little exaggerated, what you hear on these commercials. Do you agree?
Yes. I understand people can lock their credit bureaus, but it doesn't happen the same way for title on a house. You can't lock a title on a house.
Yeah, so what Title Lock does is advise you that someone's trying to file something, but it can't stop it.
That's correct.
But if someone came to you and said, Brad, my house, it's in this guy's name I never heard of before, what would you do? I mean, is that an easy thing to take care of if you've never signed it over?
Oh, no, I would not say that was easy at all. First, you'd have to do a title research to find out what happened to your title, even if it implicates your house. If it's outside of the chain of the title, like if somebody who's not the current owner files something, then really that should not tie up the title to your house, because that's called outside the chain of title. But you might have to go to court and bring a quiet title action to resolve, to get a court decree that resolves the situation and clarifies that you're the owner.
Yeah, but technically if you have a title lock service and they notify you, it's still going to get filed. You still have to do that. I mean, that's what I don't understand. It just, I guess people think, it keeps it from happening down the road for years and years without you knowing about it, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that product or service that you mentioned, but I suspect that it involves basically them taking charge of hiring a law firm or other vendors to investigate the situation and get it resolved either outside of court or in court.
All right, I really appreciate it, and that's olslaw.com, O'Brien Legal Services. He's our real estate expert here on the show, olslaw.com, and you can reach Brad if you ever need him for real estate services, and I highly recommend him. Okay, we have more coming up.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance, where you only
But you can mark the spot done.
What's that?
In Tom's case, it does sound like he still has time to pay off that lien, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, because it's up till the day of sale or auction or whatever.
Yeah, afternoon or, yeah, that's good, because if that kid has $200,000 of equity.
Well, he'd end up getting it. They'd eat it up, but he'd end up getting it.
Troubleshooter Show, what is your first name? Michael, hi, in a sentence or less. What would you like to talk to Tom about on the show today?
You're up next. We should have the favorite one side.
Roto
All insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Sheridan Auto Tech has it all. They have longevity in business more than 20 years, honesty, experience, knowledge, convenience, and value. And you know what I love about it is that they also do electrical issues of all kinds, so maintenance and repairs, both light and heavy, plus electrical issues right now on Colfax in Lakewood, just west of Wadsworth, on Havana in Aurora, just south of 6th Avenue, 303-455-7242, SheridanAutotech.com.
Absolutely, OLS law. Yeah, that's who Tom was just talking to on the air. 720-370.
Mark, do you think Trump is going to run?
I don't know, man. I really don't know.
OLS law. Yeah, that's
I hope he
Orion
doesn't
Legal
either.
Services.
But
I think if he runs, unless the Democrats put up someone absolutely
Take
awful.
good care. Bye-bye.
it's going to be, well, Joe, it's going to be the straw poll, man. I mean, that's how the Republicans are going to figure out is who's got the support. I think right now, DeSantis has the support. But they're going to villainize him anyhow. He's just not going to fire back like Trump did, but if we think for a second that Trump's the only guy they're going to go after with Russia crap and everything else, they're going to throw everything at him.
Yeah, regardless of who.
They're getting really sneaky, too, running ads for Republicans in the primaries and stuff. I mean...
Oh, you mean the Democrats?
Yeah, it's crazy. They're trying to find the furthest right guy running, and they'll dump a ton of money on him.
That's why I think
to
it's
try
real.
to get him elected because he's, or she, would be much harder or easier to beat than a middle-of-the-road guy. I mean, that's sneaky.
I don't approve of the everybody being allowed to vote in primaries just for that reason. You should be a registered independent or a registered Republican or Democrat to vote in that particular primary.
I get both. I usually, believe it or not, unless if it's local, I usually do not vote in the primaries.
But the point is, Democrats shouldn't be voting in Republican registered Democrats should not be voting in a Republican primary and vice versa.
Well, maybe so, but I'm an independent, that's why I get both.
No, but you're a registered independent, which is fine. A registered Democrat or a registered Republican.
I don't think a registered Democrat can vote in
anybody. Of course they can.
Not in the primary. I
think that recently changed. Yeah.
It was changed.
You sure?
Absolutely. Why do you think they have all those Democrats?
Well, like the ballots that came in our mail, I'm the only one that got one of both. Everybody else in my family just got the one. I got both. Why would that be?
I'm pretty sure that it's open voting. What do you, Tom?
I don't think it is.
Was the election changed so that anybody, regardless of your affiliation, can vote in the primary?
No, you have to be independent, and then you have to choose one.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought...
No, you can. If you're independent, you can vote on both.
Are you positive?
I got both. I literally got both from the state.
Okay.
Where the rest of my family's Republican, they just got Republican.
I thought you're right, but I thought on independent you choose one just for primaries, but maybe not. I mean, I don't doubt that.
I literally got both. Now, I never look like and I only vote on one, but why would they send you both?
Yeah, I thought that
it
changed too,
changed also.
because I was questioning the same thing. I'm like, why would you even want? Like, why would I even want to vote in the primary?
Because they're being sneaky. That's the only reason you would.
You know, on the news, they found a paddleboarder or something dead in the state, and I think they used an underwater drone. Did not even know that existed. I mean, I guess they've existed.
A little remote control submarine?
Yeah. But they called it an underwater drone.
Why doesn't everyone then do independent? So they can control. Because a lot of the Democrats were voting in the Republican primaries.
Well, like I said, I got both ballots. I didn't vote. I don't really care about the primaries. What I didn't look at is, can I only fill one in and send it back? I don't know. I definitely got both. Were they all?
Let's just ask. Let's just Google that. Can an independent vote in both primaries?
In Colorado.
488-8604. That's 720-488-8604. Or online, yourmoneyyourretirement.com.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk to Michael. He's been waiting a while, since Friday, actually. So, Michael, welcome. What? No, okay, Bob Logan's here. This is a good question, plumb line. But here's what happened to Michael. And I'll tell you what I told him. Michael hired Roto-Rooter. That was his first mistake. And they came out and got the sewer, to snake the sewer from the outside, the service line, and got the snake caught in one of, but the snake was caught somewhere. Was it on the inside or on the outside?
It's out near the city tap.
Yeah, okay. So they were accessing his drain. They got it stuck, and they said it's going to cost you $8,000 to get it out of there. And here's what I told him, Bob. And Bob Logan is with Plumbline Services, plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. And the good part is they have their own drain division. They actually own their own equipment. They don't sub it out, right? And so.
Okay. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, now
overflow.
Getting a snake caught. Getting a snake caught. I told Michael if his pipe was in disrepair, and they didn't do anything wrong, and it went outside the pipe and got snagged, or the pipe had a big belly in it or something that caused it to get stuck, he would probably be responsible because he has to fix that anyway. But if his pipe has nothing wrong with it and they just did something stupid, they should be responsible. And Mike claims, Michael, don't you claim that you have video showing there's absolutely nothing wrong with your pipe?
Correct.
And you had that verified, right?
Yes.
And so what has happened since then? Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay.
So I had a second opinion. I got a second opinion from a company called Elite Drains. Nice guy, Jim. Been in the field a long time. He obviously said, I can't see anything in this video. They took a very nice video, very clear. The pipe is clean all the way.
Then why is it stuck? Why are the blades stuck?
Nobody knows. Maybe the tool broke, right where it connects to the snake, the two blades, something like that. We don't know. You can see clearly in the video that the tool is turned back on itself in a clean piece of pipe.
Bob, how do you guys handle something like that?
The same way I probably talked about, right? I don't know, Bob. How would you handle it?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, if your pipe is broken, if there's something wrong with it, which causes a snake to go outside the line or get stuck, then you'd have to get it repaired anyway, and so that's not our responsibility. But if it's misuse or not understanding how the drain machine is designed to work, and someone got it stuck, that's a different story. But that rarely happens. I'd be interested.
So you're saying it's very rare that the snake is stuck with no defect in the pipe.
Right, and I'm not saying it can't happen.
Can a snake cause it to break, the pipe to break? No?
No. It's,
no, okay.
Yeah.
Where was it stuck? Is it in concrete? Is it in clay? Is it in plastic? What is it?
So my pipe starts out as cast and transitions to concrete.
And where is it stuck? Is it stuck right on the transition?
No, it's they came from inside my house at the main stack and went 90 feet out, and they're about a foot away from the city tap out by the manhole cover under the street out front.
All right, hold on. We'll come back with more and more calls.
Are you looking for a trusted...
Yeah, Roto-Rooter's probably saying, hey, your pipe is broken and it's not our fault, and we'll be happy to dig it up, which is the same thing we would do.
I know, but what if he should get some? See, I think he should get someone else.
If he had,
and then you
I'm
document.
happy to send somebody out for free. I'm happy to send someone out for free. Take another video. I won't charge them for that.
Troubleshooter show. What is your
What you
first name?
can do is, if you do fix it, you can document if it was stuck negligently.
Yeah. Or even if he chooses not to use this, we'll we'll get another video of it.
Okay, let's do
get
that.
a clean shot,
Yeah,
or
it is. I
else,
get
or else
those
take a look
emails.
at the video.
Let
But
me
the
see
problem
here,
with
Lou, that
taking
I
a look
got
at
yours. I haven't got
the
to
other
my
company's
emails
video,
this morning yet. I'm running a little behind.
I never trust
crazy
it.
Monday morning. Let me
There's
see.
nothing that can be snaked down there that's got a claw on the end to just grab it.
Yeah, that's what I was...
You can. There's nothing really designed for that. You can try to get another line down there and
then
hope
get
you
that
catch
one
it.
stuck.
Yeah. And that's what happens sometimes. I mean, sometimes you can catch it, and sometimes the two just get bound up and then turn into a big ball there.
And is it actually clogging his drain now?
Yeah, he can't use it.
I got your email, Lou.
Which is another thing. I don't understand if there's nothing wrong with his pipe. That alone,
Hang on just a minute,
I don't
please.
think
Hang
should
on.
clog his drain.
No, and if there's nothing wrong.
No, because
if there's
you
nothing
assume
wrong, why do you get it? Why do you get it?
He does it regularly every 3 years.
Because there's something wrong.
Yeah, definitely, because there's something wrong.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
He had a company come out and says, well, if you do maintenance every 4 or 5 years, you won't have to replace it.
Tommy, do you recommend anyone for stem cell anymore?
Yeah, Centeno Schultz, they're good, but they're not on our list.
Right, okay.
They're the only legit ones I know right now.
Okay, Lou, I have that information for you. I wasn't sure how to answer the second question, so I sent it off, didn't hear back, and that's why you didn't hear from me. I can email you back the information,
God,
or I
can
can
you
give it to you over the phone.
believe
Which do you prefer?
The report about these fucking cops.
Oh, wow.
Did you see them in that thing in the hallway hanging out?
Absolutely.
There
I'll
were
email that right away. Thank you.
365
Bye.
officers or something that showed up, and they could
And
hear
nobody did anything.
They could hear the screams and hear the shots, and no one bombarded that fucking door. They were waiting for a key, they said. Come on.
Oh, you're very
For an
sassy.
hour?
Please hang up and call me
Couldn't
back.
they ram that door? I mean, he's killing kids anyway.
Can you
Maybe we should just outfit schools with poisonous gas.
imagine being a cop and having to live with that the rest of your life? That you caused 19 kids and 2 teachers to be killed.
Well,
they didn't cause them.
They heard the shots going off.
Troubleshooter show.
They could have saved some of the lives, I think.
They waited a fucking hour.
That's what would you like to talk to Tom about on the show today?
Totally unbelievable.
Yeah, something certainly should have been done. I mean, that's what they're trained to do.
Hey, Tom, you know computers.
They were getting 911 calls from inside.
From the
Say that
kids.
one more
Yeah.
time, Ken, about
How do you
phone
move?
line?
How do you center this? You know how to do this stuff. I don't. How do you get that?
Good question. Hang tight.
To center
There's
what?
usually some. Well, look, it's all
Troubleshooter show.
off.
Please hold.
Oh, so that's all you had to do?
Yeah, you just drag it, and
Oh,
then
okay.
you can go full page.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
I don't have it set up, my trackpad, where you have to hold it down. I just have, I don't know if you can do that, but on a Mac you can just set it so once you put 2 fingers down you can drag it, or 3 fingers or whatever. I just have all my gestures without having to click. And then if I want to click it, just a simple tap. I like my expert opinions on these. The title lock, it's really bullshit.
Well, like you said, they do what they say they're going to do. That's the problem with it, Tom.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I got a sister that signs up for every one of those types of service. I mean, she probably...
Did she ever get okie doke?
She could probably buy a house for how much she spends on subscriptions.
Who's that?
One of my sisters.
Oh.
Troubleshooter Show, what is your first name? Go for it. What do you need?
Every time I send her an email, she calls me. Hey, did you send me an email? I just want to make sure before I open it.
Who is
Tom,
that you
look
called?
at this.
Do you
These
remember?
are my two sisters. 176, 175.
Lighten up.
Wow.
That's old.
They're nice looking.
Yeah.
They don't look their age.
Oh my God, no! Hell no!
Did you try Greeley?
Do they have gray hair?
Heating
No.
and air? Do
Well,
they,
they're
don't
dying.
they go to
Yeah.
Fort Collins? Did you try?
And then who's in the back there?
Oh, that's my brother.
You want me to give you their number, sir?
Okay, so that's the whole family.
Yeah, that's all 5 of them.
5 of you.
970.
That's nice. How old are they?
256
76 and 75.
0121.
brothers
Greeley
friends?
First
Believe that?
Company. You're welcome.
They don't look their age, do
No,
they?
they don't.
Who's the oldest?
I am.
And his hair is perfect.
One of my brothers has no hair. One of them has gray hair.
He claims he doesn't color it. Fucking liar.
I'm 77 years old. What the fuck do I care if it goes gray? You know?
My dad was that way.
Tom is just jealous.
He had a dark head of hair into his 80s.
I had a dark head of hair when I was 4.
How about Mikey, man? He, if you look at his pictures when he was in high school, he had hair down to here.
Who's
and
this?
he went bald at 22. He went bald at 22.
Who's that, Mark?
Our IT guy.
Oh.
It's like, what are the chances, man? I said, you're lucky you met your wife in high school. That's who you
It's
ended
all
up
genes.
marrying. Imagine going from long hair to
You know,
no hair.
I wish
Well,
we had,
nowadays, how many guys you see that are bald with a beard? It's like, you know, half of the kids I see.
so many people have beards now.
Did you see the guy that murdered that race car driver in California?
No.
Oh, my God, man. Once again, I go back to it. Face tattoos, the whole deal. Guys shouldn't be walking around in society. I don't give a shit.
How did he kill him?
He fucking stabbed him to death.
Why?
Because he's a fucking lunatic. If you look at him,
did he lose
there's
the
no,
race?
there's no reason to be in society.
is.com to sign up today. Guyries, your neighborhood paint store since 1899.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Gas money. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bank. That's bank. Enter it now at khow.com.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by waterpros.net for water purification systems, whole house conditioners or softeners. Under $2,000 for a whole house, under $1,000 for drinking water at the sink. 303's, it's waterpros.net, by the way. Okay, so we have a lot to talk about today. We've been talking about keeping your house cool. Should you keep your air conditioning on one setting all day, or maybe turn it down and up, or turn it off and on? Bob Logan, plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. And then we're going to go to that stuck snake in the drain. What is your recommendation on keeping a house cool? We all agree attic ventilation is key, either through an attic fan or insulation or both, or soffit vents, ridge vents, some kinds of vents, and that's in the roofing system. Now when we get to the house, would you keep your air on all day?
I do recommend keeping it on all day.
On what setting? Like let's say you like it at normally 68 or 66. Now, would you keep it on that all day?
Well, no, and that's very low. I mean,
it is?
Yeah, and I
okay. So how about 70?
Most people, 72, 73.
Let's say 72. If you want to keep your house at 72, do you keep the air on 72 all day?
If you got a programmable thermostat, I would recommend letting it go up to maybe 80 degrees. But if you turn it off completely,
okay.
The house gets to.
But even when you turn it up to 80, would you recommend keeping the blower motor on?
I do now. Yeah, the fan to circulate the air, I keep on 24/7. It doesn't hardly cost you anything, pennies a month.
So the fan will be on, but the air compressor will only come on and off when needed.
Correct, exactly. And what that does is it keeps the air circulating throughout your house. Not only does it keep the hot and cold spots more even, but it also filters the air better.
Yeah, so if you want to keep it at 74, then you can turn it up to 80. You wouldn't do more than a spread of that.
I wouldn't do too high of a spread because, again, you come home and your system is running at 100% trying to cool that house down. And it's better just to let it modulate up and down, especially if you have a system these days that modulates up and down. So sometimes it's working at 20%, sometimes it's working at 60%, sometimes 100%.
Yeah.
Where the older systems.
How about people live in apartments, Bob, where it's just a small apartment?
Drop it to 60 if the landlord pays for it.
No, but
exactly.
Seriously,
the same rules apply. Same rules apply.
But the smaller the area, it's going to be a little bit easier to cool down.
And then I believe, like what I do, and I've tried this a few times, Bob. In my house, if I'm not going to be there for a while, I keep it at, like you said, I do keep it at 80 or even 82. And then when I come in, no matter how hot or cold no matter how hot it is, because no matter what, destratifying the air will help. I put on the Quiet Cool Whole House fan, and it immediately at least equalizes the temperature, and the air works less. I mean, it really does work.
Yeah, those whole house fans work fantastic for that purpose.
And you guys even sell Quiet Cool, don't you?
We do sell Quiet Cool.
Okay, so let's go to the Roto-Rooter thing. The snake was stuck. We said if it's the fault of the plumber and it's they did something stupid, then they should pay for it. But if it's the line broken or bellied or something where it's snagged in a joint, it's not their fault. If they used normal due diligence.
But let's not forget, this guy cleans it out for
now. How often?
Every 4 or 5 years.
Bob Logan wanted to know, how often do you have this maintenance done?
About every 5 years. I think Plumline's done it once.
Okay.
And why do you have it done, Michael? Why do you have a maintenance done on it?
I was told by a plumber just preventative maintenance. Every 5 or 6 years, have somebody
technically
run it. Technically, a lot of people money because there is no reason to do preventative maintenance on a drain. The only reason you would do preventative maintenance is if you have a problem, which is maybe roots growing in the line or something that's causing issues.
Right, and if roots grow, let's say, in 5 years, it might be a slower problem than if it does every year, right? But it's still a problem.
And it's going to get worse and worse over time. I mean,
so you're saying it never is acceptable, never acceptable to have weed infiltration?
Never.
Okay, good.
If you have roots or weeds or dirt or anything getting into your line, you've got an issue that should be fixed.
Because it'll only get worse.
It'll only get worse.
And just to be clear, Bob, I have none of that. It's a beautiful line. If you saw the camera footage, you'd say the same thing
now,
that Elite Drains.
Here's what, Michael, here's what we have for you. Bob actually, with no obligation, will do a free follow-up second opinion of your drain, because we would rather do that than the other company you had come out. I'm not going to throw stones at the other company, but I know that if Bob comes out, I'm not throwing stones at anyone, I'm just saying, but if Bob comes out and does a one with Plumline, I just think it would be more ammunition for you.
Yeah, we're happy to do that, Michael, for no charge. I'll send out one of our plumbing supervisors.
Oh, he did already? Did he have another?
He got a third. Yeah, he got a first opinion, then a second opinion.
Oh, he already has a third opinion.
He got a third opinion.
Yeah, Tom, you sent me to
no. Yeah, Mark mentioned. Okay, there was a guy on our list, Master Rooter. What did he say?
He said the same thing that Elite Drain said, my second opinion. He said the pipe looks great. Said it was operator error.
Wow. Wow.
A nice, clean, dry spot. They both said the same thing. If you saw the video, you'd see the same thing. Here's the problem, Tom, and this is what comes up with a lot of the guys that you have on the show. I did sign the holds harmless, and even though the holds harmless it basically says any unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah, but
he
come
ran
on,
his
man.
fuel
I
down
would
a
say
clean
if
pipe.
there's
I know,
nothing wrong with your
it seems
drain.
No, and it seems like this is a thing to plumbers. I own my own electrical contracting company. I certainly couldn't come into a large oil and gas facility and do something like this and walk away. There should be something that protects the consumer, when you've got a perfectly good pipe.
Okay, so what would it cost to spot repair that? What quotes were you given, Michael?
$7,000. That's what it sounds like.
And is that what the one from our referralist told you as well?
Yes.
I mean, the challenge is if that is indeed the case, and it was operator error, and again, it's so rare. So I'm not sure what this guy did to get that get that bound up in there, but unfortunately, you're in a situation if you can't. Can you use your facilities at all, or no?